Hi everybody, it's the Christian Kid, and like promised, we're gonna do some more Bible study today on the book that I have, How to Relate to Impossible People. This one. So I believe we're on day 5, which is the Troublemaker, and this one's actually quite interesting because it actually brings in day 4, which was the mocker. Sorry. Yeah. And some of the naysayer actually. So it brings in some of our past ones, and it can help you to relate to it easier from this. And it's also from the book of Nehemiah. This one's from Nehemiah chapter 4 verses 1 to 9. And I read it, and actually it's a really good story so far, and I'm really enjoying it. And I really hope that you guys will too. So, I will read Nehemiah chapter 4 verses 1 to 9 for you. And if you have a Bible, my version is the New Living Translation. So, the NLT, I guess. So it's a New Living Translation. If you want to follow, and I will read it, and then we can go through the questions and do everything after that as well. So here we go. Sanballat was very angry when he learned that we were rebuilding the wall. He flew into a rage and mocked the Jews, saying in front of his friends and the Sumerian army officers, "What does this bunch of poor feeble Jews think they're doing? Do they think they can rebuild the wall in a single day by just offering a few sacrifices? Do they actually think that they can make something of stones from rubbish and heap, and charred ones at that?" Tobiah, the Ammonite, who was standing beside him, remarked, "The stone wall that would collapse. That the stone wall would collapse if even a fox walked along the top of it." Then I prayed, and this is Nehemiah praying, "Hear us, our God, for we are being mocked. May their scoffing fall back on their own heads, and may they themselves become captives in a foreign land. Do not ignore their guilt. Do not blot out their sins, for they have provoked your anger here in front of the builders." At last the wall was completed to half its height around the entire city, for the people had worked with enthusiasm. When Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs and Ammonites and Ashdodites heard that the work was going ahead and that the gaps in the wall of Jerusalem were being repaired, they were furious. They all made plans to come and fight against Jerusalem and throw us into confusion. But we prayed to our God and guarded the city day and night to protect ourselves. So, that was them. Basically, what happened was these people were so upset that they were rebuilding the wall that they just became so angry. And they prayed to God. And Nehemiah prayed to God. And they ended up building the wall to have its height faster, I guess. And I guess they got angry more. So, it says here to read, so we did read. So pray for the Lord's strength to keep on the right track. So God, we're here praying today to ask that you give us your strength to get through our hard times in each day, and that we can overcome these obstacles and that when we overcome these obstacles in our lives, that we can also stay on the right track, the track that you have planned out for us, and that all of your plans and all of what you have for us all works out in the end. Amen. So, question 1. Sorry, I had something in my throat. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know. Just something's been bugging me. So if I clear my throat, I'm really sorry. It's the first question says, look at the tactics Sanballat used to try to stop people from building. How did Nehemiah and the people respond? So, because Sanballat was so mad and angry, he tried to mock the Jews and make fun of them by putting them down and making them think that they couldn't do it, that, it was never going to work. Why try? Stuff like that. He wanted to try and discourage them, quite bluntly, and he hoped that by discouraging them, that they would stop what they were doing and not build the wall, essentially. But then the people of God, Nehemiah, they prayed to God, and they asked that God would handle it, in a nutshell. And God will handle other people who are mocking you and who are basically, as day 5 says, troublemaker. He will handle that kind of stuff. And it's not really our place to do it. So the fact that they had the courage to pray to God and ask God to handle it was really, really good. Because that will get you into a lot less trouble than handling things yourself. And sometimes I do that. And, sometimes I fall into the rut of trying to handle things myself, and it does get you into a lot more trouble if you don't ask God to handle it. And I wouldn't suggest doing it. I'm guilty of it, and I'm trying still. So, just remember to ask God to help you with these things and give you strength in the tough times. And actually, once you get going on it, it becomes easier. It really does become easier. So the second question says, instead of responding with insults and attacks, Nehemiah chose a different reaction. Describe his tactic that resulted brought. So, like I was saying before, Nehemiah prayed to God that God would hear them and that God would handle it and their attitudes. And God did, and He would. And then they went and built the wall, and the people were really, really into it. They they were really into what they were doing, and they were working really hard, and they had half built, and it was huge. Like they were going at full steam, and they were filling in the gaps of the wall, and everything was being replaced and rebuilt, and it was huge for them, I'm sure. So that's it for that question. The third question is, why do you think people work so fervently? And I think that why they work so fervently at it was because they've seen what God can do. They've seen it. They knew that God was on their side, and with God, all things are possible. Everything is possible, and you never really have to worry about anything um, with God, except for other stuff. But with God, everything is possible, and I mean, your dreams can come true. The impossible becomes possible, um, and things happen with God, and they're good things. God gives good things to us, and He only will give us good things. Nothing bad comes from our Father's hand. All good things come from His hand. So, um, what do they have to lose? I mean, with God on their side, He's there with them building this wall that was so big, and these people were mocking them and putting them down and everything. And I mean, like, what do they have to lose? God is huge. God is a really big God, and He loves all of us. So I think that the reason why they worked so hard was because they knew that they had God on their side, and really letting them see what God has done has really picked up their um, what's the word I'm looking for? Their spirit. So, the need for today is this. It is easy to get discouraged and quit when facing opposition. Pray for strength and peace. So, God, we come to you today that at any of our tough times, or when people say, no, you can't do that, and put us down and discourage us, and all this other bad stuff that can happen in tough and troubling and rough times, that you would give us the strength to get through and keep going and not let us quit in those times. That you would be with us and that you would hold us in your hand. Amen. So, I'm just going to leave you with this. Why don't you try encouraging somebody today? Let's do the opposite of what this guy, Sam Blatt, was in this chapter of book. Instead of being a troublemaker, let's do something nice for somebody. Encourage somebody, and tell them you can do this. You can do it because God is going to be there with you. And just encourage somebody. Let somebody have a good day because of you. Let's not make days harder because everybody has bad days. Let's make people's days better. Anyways, I will talk to you later. And our next one is day 6, and it's the griper. So we'll talk to you then. And I hope you tune in. And I really enjoyed having you. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.